In tonight's Government Insider, immigration in the High Court. Next week, the Supreme Court will hear oral arguments in a challenge to President Obama's executive actions on immigration. Some analysts think Chief Justice John Roberts will hand President Obama another election year victory 4 years after he ruled on Obamacare. Joining me with the latest is Sam Baker, staff correspondent at National Journal. Sam, refresh our collective memories. What did President Obama order and why did states object?
Sure. So this all goes back to a couple of orders that the president made in 2014 when he said that a group of, it's about 5 million people who are in the country illegally but haven't broken any laws and who have children who are United States citizens, that those people could remain in the country. They don't become citizens, but they're eligible to work, they're allowed to stay, they don't get deported. Basically what he said was the government can only deport so many people a year, and it was going to focus its resources on felons, violent criminals, and try to err on the side of not breaking up families who had kids in the United States when it could.
All right, so their case has reached the High Court. How does the Obama administration view these orders? Outline their argument.
The administration says this is a very simple case of what's called enforcement discretion, which just means there's only so much money available every year to enforce the immigration laws, and the Homeland Security Department has to decide how it's going to spend that money. They say that's something that federal agencies have to do just out of necessity because money is limited, and also that Congress has for a very long time, really right up until now, always recognized that the executive branch has a lot of flexibility there, specifically in the immigration context.
Now, Sam, you find that this case could hinge on Chief Justice John Roberts. Tell me more.
That's right. Both sides in this case are making a very clear play for Chief Justice Roberts' vote. He likes to write narrow decisions. He doesn't really like to get into any bigger legal debates than he has to. So you've seen the Obama administration, one of their key arguments here is that the states don't have the right to bring this lawsuit in the first place. Not just that the policy is right, but the states don't have the standing to challenge it. And that's an area of law where the Chief Justice has actually been pretty conservative. He's taken a pretty narrow view of who can bring this kind of lawsuit, and has even voted against allowing lawsuits to go forward in the past that were filed by states. So a lot of people on the left feel like that's a pretty good opportunity to win his support here and just get a ruling that says we can't hear this lawsuit, not necessarily a win sort of on the merits of the immigration policies themselves.
Meanwhile, Senate Republicans refused to consider President Obama's nominee, Merrick Garland, to replace the late Antonin Scalia on the Supreme Court. If they ended that blockade, would it make a difference in this case?
Eventually, but not in the short term. Even if the Senate decided they were going to hold a vote on Garland tomorrow, he wouldn't be in place in time for the oral arguments in this case, and so that the 8 justices who are there now are going to be the ones who decide this. However, if those 8 justices end up in a 4-4 tie, one of the things they could do is just say, look, we're going to hang on to this case, special circumstances, and hear it again once we have a new justice. So whoever the next justice is, whether that's Garland or someone else, could end up casting the deciding vote on this.
All right, my next question then, when will this case be decided? Do you think it'll have any impact on the 2016 election?
It will be decided probably at the very end of June. That's when the court usually hands down its sort of biggest decisions of the year. And I think it definitely will have a very significant impact on the election. Immigration is already a hot button issue. This will be coming just a couple of weeks before the Republican convention.
You bet.
I think the political implications will just be tremendous.
Timing couldn't be more critical. All right, we'll keep on top of this story. Sam Baker, staff correspondent at National Journal. Thanks again.
Thank you.